Hello, everybody watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 22 of Season 10 NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series. I am Levi McIntyre, a.k.a. ThrashManiac99, the voice of NNSCRA Walmart Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Sirius Satellite Radio at the Glen, where we're getting set for 9 laps of racing here at my favorite road course we go to on the Cup schedule. And we are racing at the brand new 2016 Watkins Glen, the new repaved, the new improvements to the walls and so on and so forth. So this should be quite the race for you to watch. But before we look at the lineup, let's look at how the points look coming into the race today. After winning last week at Pocono, Tim Walsh extended his points lead and leads by 11 points over Michael Norman. Third is Steven Guerrero, fourth Pichu London, fifth is Austin Mongold. Sixth is Matt Skoenberger, seventh Jesse Setti, eighth Joshua Collard, ninth Charles Sanford, 10th Carson Gum. The rest of the top 20 include Dylan Thoreau, Dylan Young, Johnny Gardner, Anthony McCrory, Sean Galligan, Matt McIntyre, David Rivera, Kyle Matthews, James Qualls, and Trent Dunham. So that is how the top 20 look coming into the race today. And we are getting down to the wire to see who can make the chase. Right now, the two wildcard drivers would be Connor Morgan for having 2 wins outside the top 10 and in the top 30, and then Johnny Gardner for being the highest outside the top 10 with a victory. So with that said, let's look at the lineup. In the last row, it is Joshua Collard and Tim Walsh. Starting in the top 10, Chase Oliver is on the pole for today. Next to him is Sean Galligan. Row 2 is James Richardson and Matt McIntyre. Row 3 is Austin Mongold and JT Bryant. Row 4, DJ Curtis and John Cittadino. And then row 5, Matt Skoenberger and Kyle Keefe. With that said, let's go ahead and get the command to fire engines for the Sirius Satellite Radio at the Glen at Watkins Glen.
Drivers, start your engines! Is that okay?
That has to be the worst command soundbite I have ever heard. People who made that, hooray! But anyways, cars rolling off for their quarter pace lap. And Chase Oliver on the pole, which gives him quite the advantage, because typically on road courses of this kind, when you're on the pole, you do have a big chance to really run away with the win. Chase Oliver looking for win number 2 this season, so he can get a wild card spot for the chase. But with a bunch of I&I changes I've done to the road course races, we'll see how it's going to turn out. As we are getting ready to go boogity, boogity, boogity! Go racing! What a chaotic lap 1 that was. We got so many cars that got into incidents and are also have fallen to the back as a result of getting held up in a big wreck that happened going through the S's here. And then a lot of cars struggling to get through the bus stop area. And man, oh man. Chase Oliver ended up losing the lead by overdriving the bus stop right here. Now we got a battle for lead with Sean Galligan, Austin Mongold. I'm telling you, I guess. Whoa, and then we got an incident on pit road. Connor Morgan, Jesse Setti involved. But the first incident that I saw was right off of turn 1, where Kyle Matthews slammed the inside wall, the inside tire wall to be exact, and that caused him to be put to pit road. But look at this, I'm telling you, that's like, since I did those I&I changes, they get more aggressive and more active on track, and now as a result, we've had some lead changes. First time ever at Watkins Glen in a long time we've had a lot of lead changes. Austin Mongold to the lead, and he's looking for some redemption because he dominated last week at Pocono, but he ended up getting into an incident with his teammate Dylan Thoreau with 3 to go, and it took the win away from him. So now he wants to try to get his first win really bad now, but now he's got Matt Skoenberger to his backside. But they're all going through the grass as opposed to going on the track, which is kind of unusual by Watkins Glen standards. And whoa, William Brock. Yeah, it's like they're using the grass as a low line as opposed to the actual track racing surface. Mongold has the lead, but now, whoa, crossover move by Matt Skoenberger. Mongold gets the wall, and that's going to cost him a bit of time. And now Matt Skoenberger has the race lead, and he's wanting to go try to get his second win of the season and hopes to guarantee a spot in the chase. Because after this week, we have only 4 races left until the chase. Next week, we go back to Michigan, then back to Bristol, then Darlington, and then back to Richmond. And then also we got the LCQ event at Dragonette beforehand. So interesting stuff going on right now. Matt Skoenberger now the race leader. But he's got DJ Curtis on trying to get up there. And DJ Curtis, this is the first race he's made in a couple weeks. After dropping out of the top 30 in points a few weeks back, this is his first race he's made since then. Battle heats on for the, looks like right there, that's the 4th position between John Cittadino and Dorian Facepuncher. John Arndt up here into the picture. Sean Galligan up there as well, and Skoenberger continues to lead and pulling away from the 16 of Mongold, or the 14 of Curtis, Mongold in 3rd. Looking around to see what the field's doing. It's kind of settled out, but cars that have retired out of the race after all the mayhem that took place are Joshua Collard, Angel Navarro, James Qualls, Connor Morgan, Jesse Setti, Chase Oliver, Kyle Matthews, Zach Flickinger. So we're going to see quite a shakeup in the top 10 in points and so on and so forth. So the wild card spots could be changed up by the time this race is over, because you might have a couple of those wild card guys who are in the top 10 in points with 2 wins or contenders for the chase in the top 10, but if they fall out, they could end up having to fall back on wild card positions. Charles Sanford is one of those guys running in the back right now that needs to try and stay in the top 10 so that way he can carry over the 2 bonus points from his 2 wins earlier this season. Skoenberger still holding off to 16 as it's now less than 4 to go here at the Glen. We're past halfway in what has been a chaotic race here at the Glen, but maybe the best race at the Glen because we've seen a lot of lead changes and a lot of position changes here ever since the offset of this race. Meanwhile, battle for 3rd, Cittadino is going to go by the 16 of Mongold. Meanwhile, a big battle going on for 5th between 4 cars. John Arndt, Sean Galligan, Dorian Facepuncher, and Pichu London. And then you got Kyle Keith, Austin LaPlante, Steven Guerrero, all kind of lurking behind all that. Skoenberger still holding off everybody in the field to try and keep that lead. DJ Curtis, though, having a really good run going, and this could help him try to get closer to get back inside the top 30. And also because Chris Washer currently running in 28th, and he and Connor Morgan were both tied in the 29th spot in points, and DJ Curtis came in 50 points behind both drivers, or actually 40 points behind both drivers, so DJ Curtis could gain a lot to get into the top 30 again, because Connor Morgan is retired in 38th, but Connor Morgan's got those 2 wins to fall back on. But I don't know, things are going to get really interesting here after this race is over, as we have 2 laps to go here at the Glen. Skoenberger's still trying to hold off a charging DJ Curtis. Back here, a battle about to start for the 6th spot with Pichu London, Dorian Facepuncher, but he couldn't quite make it work to 17. Whoa, a little bit of contact with Anthony McCurry and Trent Dunham right there, and McCurry's going to go by the 1 car. I don't know what spot that's for. Oh, contact between Michael Norman and Steven Guerrero through the bus stop. Surprised they didn't wreck right there. Skoenberger still trying to keep distance between himself and the 14 of DJ Curtis, as we are now coming to take the white flag. White flag is waving for the 80 of Matt Skoenberger, trying to go for his 2nd win of his career and this season. Now already the Team Heel Motorsports team, all their members have won a race this season, but Connor Morgan's won twice, Chase Oliver once, Steven Guerrero once, and Matt Skoenberger once. But now DJ Curtis trying to get a run going on the 80, and Skoenberger trying to go for win number 2 in hopes to really guarantee him a spot in the chase for the championship. DJ's still on a charge, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. He's going to have to hope the 80 makes a big mistake here in the next couple of turns and hopes that he can hit his marks really well in order to get by the 80. But the 80's just been smart up at the front ever since he got the lead, but DJ did gain a little bit of ground, but it ain't going to be enough. Coming out of the final corner, checkered flag is about to wave. 2nd win of his career, Matt Skoenberger wins the Sirius Satellite Radio at the Glen. Probably the best Watkins Glen race we have ever had, because we had a lot of passing going on for every spot, but we had some crazy incidents take place, but holy cow. Matt Skoenberger comes out with win number 2 of the season and of his career, and hopes to gain himself a locked-in spot for the chase. But let's look at the rest of the results. A great run, much-needed run for DJ Curtis, who came in, like I said, 40 points outside of the top 30, and now he's going to be within reach of getting back in there. John Cittadino with a solid finish in 3rd. Solid 4th place run for John Arndt. Austin Mongold with a great run in the 5th spot. Great run in 6th for Pichu London. 7th, Dorian Facepuncher. That was a solid run. Great run for Sean Galligan in 8th. Solid run for Michael Norman in 9th. And Steven Guerrero with a great run in 10th. Another highest finishing rookie finish for him. And I think Michael Norman might take the points lead over going into Michigan next week. Rest of the top 20, Kyle Keith, Austin LaPlante, Blaine Keys, Dylan Young, JT Bryant, Tanner Sullivan, Johnny Gardner, Kev Shearer, William Brock, and William Duncan. Rest of the top 30, Matt McIntyre, Jessica Sheldon, Jonathan Zorleen, David Rivera, James Richardson, Chris Washer, Carson Gum, Charles Sanford, Trent Dunham, Tim Walsh. And then the rest of the cars that finished on the lead lap were Anthony McCrory, Preston Plord, and Dylan Thoreau. Seth Cole a lap down. Everybody else was out of the race after all the chaos during the very beginning. Joshua Collard, Angel Navarro, James Qualls, Connor Morgan, Jesse Setti, Chase Oliver, Kyle Matthews, and Zach Flickinger. Well, that does it for our coverage today here at Watkins Glen. 4 races left until the chase. Next week, we head to Michigan International Speedway for quite the event when we get to that race, and that is the Ford Dealers 400. Then we have the Sharpie 500 at Bristol, the Southern 500 at Darlington, and then, of course, the regular season finale, the Chevy Revolution 400 at Richmond. But until then, here are your results, rookie points, and regular points heading into Michigan. And this is Levi McIntyre, signing off.